Hi guys, welcome to Coturnix Corner. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the Nurturite 360 incubator, which is an entry-level incubator produced by Harris Farms and can often be found on the shelves of big box feed stores like Tractor Supply. It was originally released as a chicken egg or a duck egg incubator, but I have seen a lot of comments on social media. People are recommending this incubator to newcomers as a quail egg incubator. You can even find quail egg replacement racks, so you can change out your turner from chicken eggs to quail eggs. I've also found videos here on YouTube where people do a test hatch. They tell you a little bit about the incubator and then they recommend it for newbies when they first get into quail. My problem with that is when I first started into quail, I had a couple Nurturite 360s that I was incubating eggs with, and I wasn't getting the hatch rates that I hear everybody else online were getting, with a little bit better incubator, a mid-range or even a higher end incubator. So what I ended up doing was boxing up by both of the 360s, boxing them up and putting them on the shelf, and I haven't touched them since. So what I wanted to do today is kind of share with you, if you're thinking about getting a new incubator, or you're just getting started, you want to buy your first incubator. I want to share with you some of the issues that I've had with the Nurturite 360 and why I don't think that it is a very good incubator, especially for someone who is just getting started with quail. I think that when you're just getting started, you don't want to have issues. You want to get a good hatch rate, and if you don't get good results, you're going to get discouraged, and some people just give up altogether. So some of the tests that I did run that I want to share with you are problems that I have known to exist with this incubator, and the first one was temperature. What I did was I plugged the incubator in about 24 hours ago, and I let it come up to temperature and stabilize, and the built-in thermometer on the control panel reads between 99.5 and 100 degrees. It bounces back and forth between those two temperatures. What I have placed inside the incubator is a calibrated meat thermometer, which I calibrated by using some of my high-end incubators. I placed it in there, and I'm actually going off the thermometer from the incubator and adjusting the setting on the meat thermometer, so I know it's accurate. I also placed a little digital thermometer in there. It's a thermometer hygrometer inside the incubator, and just to kind of compare, and the digital thermometer and my meat thermometer are very close. They're within 1 degree of each other. So with a temperature reading of 99.5 right now on the incubator, or on the Nurturite 360 control panel, if you look down here at the readings on the two thermometers inside, they're about 95.8. One is even 94. So they're both in agreement, but they do not match what we're reading on the control panel. So it seems to be that there are some discrepancies between the control panel and the thermometers. I also checked for warm and cold spots. There really isn't that much of a variation in warm and cold spots. I put thermometers on the outside edges, and they all read pretty much the same all the way around, but I did notice a half a degree difference between the very center of the incubator to the outside. There's about a half a degree difference, the center being a little bit on the warmer side. So the next test I did was a humidity test. I have the digital hygrometer inside the incubator. I also have a Serio humidity pump, which has a built-in hygrometer on it, and I know that that is accurate. It's sold by Barato, calibrated at the factory, and it's right on the money. And both of them are in agreement as far as being reading the same. We had a 33 or 34% humidity on the control panel, and both the Cerio and the hygrometer that we have inside are reading about 19% humidity, 20%. So we're gonna say that it's about 10 percentage points off as far as humidity goes. Now that was dry. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the entire, both chambers on the Nurturite and compare what we get on the higher end of the humidity. Okay, let me give that a second to stabilize, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what readings we're getting inside the hygrometer on the inside of the incubator, the Cerio humidity pump hygrometer, compare that to what we're reading on the Nurturite control panel. Okay, so I wanted to bring you in a little bit closer and show you the humidity readings that I'm getting now with the all the water wells filled in the Nurturite. You can see on the Nurturite, I do have the vent all the way closed, so it's holding all the humidity in, and it is reading about 71% humidity, to where the Cerio humidity pump is reading about 52% humidity. So we have a little bit of a discrepancy there. We come down here to the hygrometer inside the incubator. It is reading at 50%, so it is much more in agreement with what the Cerio humidity pump is reading. And again, we're getting a faulty reading on the Nurturite 360. So that right there is going to show you off a little, throw you off a little bit. It's not going to be a game changer or kill a hatch, but if you're trying to get your humidity up in, say, the 70-75% range for lockdown, you might get a false sense of security by reading what the Nurturite is reading versus two calibrated, one calibrated and one other digital, showing you what they are in agreement on. Okay, so the next test that I ran was on the turners. Like I said earlier, this incubator was designed for chicken eggs or duck eggs, a little bit larger eggs, and the turner rack has larger compartments to accommodate those eggs. But what I've seen is a lot of people will double up the quail eggs in each of the compartments, and I tried that, and I ran into some issues where the eggs will kind of bind up a little bit as it's turning. The eggs can even, flip up on end, or they'll bind so tight that they'll actually, get hairline fractures in the shell. So that really wasn't a viable option as far as, using that turner. So I actually went out and purchased a turner that was designed for quail eggs, and it fits the Nurturite 360. And what I did was I took a couple quail eggs, their average, 14, 15 gram eggs, and I took a Sharpie and made a mark on each of the eggs and placed them in the egg turner, just to get an idea of how far the quail eggs are actually being turned when the Nurturite turns the egg. So we'll go ahead and give that a test. Okay, so you can see that the eggs turned almost 360 degrees, probably 350 degrees. So while it will probably work, it's not optimal. The egg should only be turned about halfway. So I don't think that is a very good option. Okay, so another issue I have with the turner is the turner motor itself. The turner motor is located in the bottom of the incubator underneath the water reservoirs. And the issue with that is if you accidentally overfill your water reservoirs, water could potentially run down the turner motor shaft, causing damage to the motor or causing the shaft itself to rust. As far as the housing design, I'm not real impressed with that. While it is nice having a 360 degree viewing window, they didn't incorporate any kind of a retaining wall to keep the chicks inside the incubator once the cover's removed. The only way that I found that I could do it without losing chicks was to unhook the incubator or unplug it, set the entire incubator inside a brooder or inside a cardboard box or something, then remove the cover. That way I don't have to worry about chicks jumping out and scattering around. So guys, I just want to say that the Nurture Right 360 will hatch eggs. Would I recommend it for someone just getting into quail and as a first-time hatcher? Absolutely not. I think it's a poorly designed incubator. I hate to see somebody come into the hobby, have bad results right out of the gate, and get discouraged and then just want to quit. So I thought I would put that information out there to you. I hate doing negative reviews. But like I said, I've seen a lot of referrals going around online, people recommending this incubator to newbies, and I don't think that that's a good starting point for somebody just getting into it. So guys, I hope you found this this video helpful, and it'll help you make up your mind either way whether or not you want to jump into a Nurture Right 360. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Helps me out. You can get notified of any new and upcoming videos. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.